Hello YouTube, we are back with another dungeon guide, and today we're looking at the Foundry. Really the only tricky boss is this first boss here, just with the whole levers and which platforms to stand on and whatnot. So it's a 3x3, right? We got 9 squares. So I'm gonna number them to make it kind of hopefully easier for you to understand. But the whole idea is that if you're at the gate, this box, I'm assuming this lava is going to kill me. Oh, it doesn't. It's just a visual bug. Okay, great. So this is box 1, or square 1. Moving to the left, right, if we stand at the door, we're facing, the boss will spawn here. This is 1. Moving to the left, this is 2. And this is 3. We've reached the end of the row, so we go back. We move up 1. This is 4. This is 5. This is 6. We've reached the end of the row. We go back. We move up 1. This is 7. This is 8. And this is 9. The easiest trick for this is that the lever or the box closest to the levers, you always pull the lever on the left to correspond with the square closest to it. So I'm standing in box 3, so from left to right, the levers are 3, 2, 1. So if I pull lever 3, right, if it will drop right this bucket. This bucket opened. If I go to this one and I pull right, the boss, or I'm in the square that is closest to the levers, so I pull the one on the left and it opens up that bucket. So this is 4, 5, 6, and then this one is 7 or 9, 8, 7, right? This is square 9. So I'm going to pull this lever. Boom. So if I was standing in this one with the boss, then you would know that the middle one is what opens up the middle bucket for the middle square. If I'm furthest away, you pull the lever that's furthest to the right to get this square. So hopefully that made sense, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and it's always from left to right, 3, 2, 1, 4, 5, 6, 9, 8, 7. The only other things that happen in this fight are these vents here, these squares on this wall will shoot out vents, or like heat, or smoke, whatever you want to call it. If you're standing in line of it, you want to avoid it. You'll see the smoke. There'll also be the classic like red square on the ground. It's hard to see though. There's lava on the floor. It's red on red. It's difficult to see, but it is there. And the whole point of the fight is to just pull the boss when he gets his protective shield onto one of these squares and pull the corresponding lever. A way to make this really easy for yourself is to also immediately pull all the adds at the beginning of the fight and then keep the adds dead. Because what will happen is the adds will pull the lever and randomly drop the boxes, and it can kind of throw you off. Like maybe you're like, oh, we're standing here, pull this specific lever. Let's see, I'm standing on 5, go pull lever 5. And you get there, and an ad has already pulled it, so now you can't pull it, so then you have to move the boss again. So it can kind of mess up your flow. And you're supposed to only be able to pull the lever once, and then that's it. But you only need 4. So there's 9 levers, and you only need 4 or 5 to kill the boss. Because it's like, I'm pretty sure it's every 25% of its health he gains protective shield. But the adds can pull the levers randomly, and then that's one less lever to deal with. However, the levers can reset I haven't been able to determine what necessarily determines that, and I don't know if it's actually bugged where it's always supposed to reset, or the ad resets it, or when the grates open up and the lava, you like it's just a lava floor. If that's what resets it, I don't know. But let's just go off of play this fight as if you can only pull the lever once, and then if it so happens that you see the lever reset, then great. But let's just pretend that you can only pull the lever once. So you start here, you pull this lever, boom, you've used 3. Now we'll move back, boom, pull the middle lever, we'll move back again, boom, pull the furthest right lever, and then the last one, stand here, boom, pull the left lever, and then you're done, right? You only need 4. That's the fight. Do that. Make sure, for the most part, everyone is standing on the stone things. Obviously, tank, please don't stand on the grate when the levers are being pulled, because you will take a lot of damage, and if you die, it makes the fight really complicated. So just stand on the edge. You can stand like here, or even here, and the boss will still stand on the grate. Everyone else just stand on the stone. The tank should not be the one pulling the levers, because as they get hit, their bar gets interrupted, so they can't actually do it. So someone else is going to have to do it. Let the tank just focus on standing in the correct spot, and then kill the ads as they spawn. And that's it. That's this fight. So let's move on to boss 2. Alrighty, so now we're on the second boss, which is this troll in the lava wall room. Really, all you have to worry about with this boss is being knocked back into the lava walls. But this boss just falls over. This is one of the bosses that just dies really quickly if you have enough damage, and there's nothing you need to worry about. So you just focus down the boss, and that's it. That's it. That was what, like 30 seconds, if that. Yeah, the only thing you need to worry about is the knockback. So you kind of want to have your back up against like the forge in the middle. Don't have your back up against the walls, right? Because if you get knocked back into the walls, then you just die. But that's the fight. That's it. So now we'll move on to the last boss here. Alrighty, so the last boss. So the whole challenge here is to destroy the forge in the middle of the room. Just before you kill the 2 bosses. So you want to start by doing damage on the forge and get it to its like untargetable state, right? The health bar will turn green and you can't target it. So then you have to go back to DPSing the bosses and then trigger the targetable state of the forge once again. You will get purple eyes throughout the fight. All you want to do with the purple eye, if you get a purple eye, is just run to the corner or the sides of the room, and you're going to drop like 5 or 6 puddles just at your feet. So just keep dropping the puddles until the eye goes away, and then once the eye goes away, then you can kind of go back up with your group, and you won't drop puddles on them. The other thing that happens in this fight is this fire that spawns in the room. So the fire will move clockwise around the room, and you want to just keep ahead of it. You can get the puddles while you get the eye, you can get the eye while the fire moves around the room. So in that case, stick to the wall away from the center of the room, so your group can target the forge while you drop the puddles on the side, while also dodging the fire that's moving around. The one thing to keep in mind with DPSing the forge is even if you are a ranged class, like Lore Master, Hunter, Runekeeper, you have to be in melee range for your abilities to hit the forge. For whatever reason, if you try to target the forge and use abilities while you're not in melee, it will say like out of range or untargetable or something like that. So you need to be in melee to target the forge, no matter your class. So just keep that in mind. But yeah, so you're going to target the boss, the orc dude, to get into his... So when you do DPS, when you do damage to the orc, it will trigger his like untargetable health state, which he'll activate the forge, and then you can do damage to the forge. And you kind of have to cycle between the two bosses so that you're damaging them equally, and that you're not like triggering their health states one right after another on the same boss. You want to switch between the two because you need to make sure that the forge dies first, right? So you target the forge at the start. You then, let's say, target the orc after. Then you can target the forge a second time. Then instead of going back to the orc, switch to the sorcerer or Angmarum dude, whatever you want to call him, right? So you want to switch between the two. So forge, orc, forge, sorcerer, forge, orc would kind of be that order, and then you kind of, so that's why you cycle between the two. You're gonna get stunned a lot in this fight. That's just how this fight goes. The forge will essentially stun you. It just stuns everyone. So in those cases, what you want to do is just stay away from the fire as much as you can, so you don't get stunned in the fire, because if you get stunned in the fire, you will most likely die. And just keep DPSing the bosses slowly so that you can trigger the forges. So there we go. The orc is going to like activate the forge again. So now we can DPS the forge. Once we get it, I think it's like 20%. I think it goes down. Or 25%, something like that. Okay, now we can go back to fighting the sorcerer person. Just go slow, right? Because you want to make sure that the forge goes down first. There we go. The sorcerer's entered his green state, so now we should be able to target the forge here in a second. There we go. The forge is now vulnerable. Boom. Kill the forge. And now you can go back and kill the enemies, who should both be at roughly like 25% health. And then you just kill them that way. But that is key, is don't kill the bosses. Kill the forge first. DPS the bosses slowly to trigger their different health states and stuff like that. But focus on the forge. If you miss because the forge will be active, and then what will happen is if you wait like 30 seconds without attacking the forge, or you don't bring it down to a certain health threshold, you will miss the opportunity to actually kill the forge, right? So you just keep an eye on the forge as you're DPSing the bosses, so that you don't miss the opportunity to actually do damage to the forge, because that's the most important part. But you're not gonna, it's very simple fight, very easy. There's not a whole lot of damage being done, so like you don't even need a tank, right? We had our champ tanking, and like they were kind of tanking but not really tanking, of course. And it was pretty easy. So yeah, that concludes the dungeon guide. So yeah, thanks for watching. Hope you found this helpful, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye-bye.